if you looked at the notes or not. Do you remember looking at the notes?
Mm-hmm.
Certain things you got to know is you got to know the radius. That's 5. And I don't know if you remember on the last week's assignment to find the lateral area, it was the perimeter times the height.
Okay.
Amaria, I see that you're in. How you doing, Amaria?
Good.
Are you working on this particular one?
I don't know.
This is cylinders.
Yeah.
Okay. So now in this guy, since it's a cylinder, the perimeter of the base is really their circumference. And if you remember, the circumference was 2 pi r. Okay, so that P is now going to be 2 pi r. And I know r is 5, right? So I'm going to do 2 times 5, which will give me 10 pi. Okay, and that's the area of the base. Okay, then I'm going to multiply it by the height. Now the height in this case is 9. Okay, so then I'm going to times it by 9. Now remember, they want exact values. When they want the exact values, that means that we're going to leave that pi alone. Okay, so that pi is part of the answer. So I put my pi right here. Oh, man. And all I have to do is 10 times 9. Do you see that, Kelvin?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we should have got that guy right there. Now, remember what the area of the base is. Oh, no, we don't know it. We ain't got it yet. The base is a circle, right? That's pi r squared. And we already know what r is, right? 5. So it's going to be 5 squared pi. Remember exact, so I leave the pi alone. All I have to do is the pi squared. Okay, do I need to slow down?
No.
Is everybody good then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now the total area, remember we did this on the last assignment, lateral area plus 2 times the base. Number 1, we got the lateral area, which was 90 pi. So I'm going to put down 90 pi right there. Area of the base, we found that on number 2. Remember, pi is part of the answer. Okay, so this is what you got to do. You're going to do 90. Let me change the color. You're going to put in your calculator 90 plus 2 times 25. Got that, Kelvin?
Mm-hmm.
So put that. Remember, if you're using your phone, you got to do that 2 times 25 first. And then you're going to add it. Everybody see that?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you get it, Kelvin?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Okay, now the volume. Volume is always going to be the area of the base, I believe. And we found that on number, shoot, where is it? Number 2, right? Area of the base, number 2. So that's 25 times the height, which we already know is 9. Right? Yeah, the base is 9. So we got to put that in our calculator. And remember that pi is part of the answer. Now, the second part is going to be just like this. So when I go to the next page, my R is 8. My height is 3. My lateral area is perimeter times the height, which in this case is 2 pi r times the height. I just plug it in. Remember, pi is part of my answer, so I move it out. So all you have to do is 2 times 8 times 3. So go ahead and do that.
$48, right?
Yep, good job. And then on the next one, remember pi is part of the answer. So you just got to square the 8 and you got that one.
$64.
There you go. 64. That means that 64 goes in there. I put my pi over there, and that's what you're doing. You're going to do the 2 times 64 plus 48.
Is it 176?
Yes. And then the volume is the area of the base, which we got on number 6. So number 6, it should be 64 pi times the height. The height is, shoot, I don't remember, 3. Remember, don't do the pi. The pi is part of the answer. So all you got to do is 64 times 3.
Is 192?
Correct. And that's it. So basically, all these questions that go in, they go in the right steps. You're going to find the lateral area, then you're going to find the area of the base, and you're going to figure it all out. So lateral area again is going to be 2 pi r times h. I know r is equal to 4, h is equal to 6. So all we do is plug in. Remember, pi is part of the answer, so all you're worried about are those 3 numbers, 2 times 4 times 6. It's 48, right? Again. So then now we're going to find the area of the base, which is pi r squared. I just got to square the 4. And then that 16 also goes right there on the next one. So you're just going to knock out those.
It's 80.
There you go. And then we're ready for the last part. Area of the base times the height. Height is 6.
Ninety-six.
There you go. Kelvin, you good? Kelvin, are you caught up?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. I'm going to go to the last page, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so then on this one here, they're both are equal to the same, but still it's the same steps. So my lateral area is going to be 2 pi r h. So I know that 9 times 9 is 81. So I'm just going to put 2 pi 81, okay? With the pi in the answer, you just got to multiply 2 times 81.
$162.
Okay, and then you got the 162. Now you're going to find the area of the base.
Is it 9?
Well, it's going to be 9 squared.
Okay.
Yep. So that 81 goes in there. Remember, pi is part of the answer. So you're just going to be worried about 2 times 81 plus 162.
Is it 324?
Then you're ready for the volume. Area of the base, which we found on number 14 on this one, which was 81. So I plugged in 81 times the height. Height is 9. Leave the pi alone because that's part of the answer. So you just have to do the 81 times the 9.
$729.
Yep. And we are done. Now, one of the things I want you guys to remember, whenever you got these types of shapes, I don't care what the shape is. Once I find the area of the base, it's going to be times the height, and that will always give me the volume. Before, when we did length times width times height, that length times width, that's actually the area of the base. And that's all we really did here, except that in this case, we have a circle, so I couldn't do length times width. And that's why we were doing the pi r squared. And that's how we find the volume of these shapes. Next week, I believe it's going to be a cone that we got to find the volume for a cone in the lateral area. So it's going to be very similar to what we did this time, except we add a couple of numbers. I think we got to divide by a number because a cone isn't a complete cylinder. It's only part of it. Okay, so do you guys have any questions?
No.
Sure.
Okay, and then how about on any of the